Welcome to Storytime at the Rubus, a weekly podcast where we discuss music festivals and, most importantly, Bonnaroo. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Daniel. And yes, that is most important right now because as of the moment that we are recording this, we are 8 days away. So it is Monday night and we will be leaving Tuesday. We'll tell you more about that soon. So things are getting kind of crazy around here. There's a bug going in your hair. I've got it. You've got the window open there, so they're coming in. It's like a bug zapper situation. Yeah, I get that, Brooklyn. So yeah, things are a little different. Charlotte is here. She'll be coming in just a moment, hopefully. She painted this table. It was getting kind of gunky. How do you like it? Does it look good?
I love it. I want to paint like a Bonnaroo mural on there.
Well, let's get at it.
Okay.
So I know some of you may have signed that in the past, but things were getting pretty gross on there. We do have to change things out every once in a while for upkeep. As many of you know, there used to be a table over here that had a whole bunch of cool stuff in it, but it was kind of rotting. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was getting a little moldy, so it had to go. We did want to save this table, so Charlotte has started fresh on it. It's almost like a marker board on here. I wonder if it would say. We made it glossy, so stuff would just like wipe off easily.
Yeah.
But this thing is always evolving. So good to have you back. It's been a minute since you've been on. You've been very busy with work. What's going on at Straight to L these days?
I mean, beer.
Beer?
Beer and food.
Now wait, there is something fun that you can tell about Straight to L. You guys have a bus also now.
Yeah, we acquired a bus for free. It's a lot bigger than this one.
Yeah, I can vouch.
And the owner still doesn't know what he wants to do with it. So yeah.
What would you want to do with it if you got to choose?
Completely gut it out. Paint all of our 4 flagship beers on it. And then paint like the characters from those beers on the other side and like with a big symbol. Yeah. Kind of make it like a stationary lounge, like, and park it up front in front of that one building.
That was my vote because take it from me, it's not easy driving one of these things around in town. And that one's longer than this one. I can't even imagine.
He'd have to get a CDL license to drive it too, because there's no way he would be able to get it as a commercialized, as a licensed as a camper. Like you guys do.
It's tricky. I don't know what kind of magic Charlotte worked with the state of Alabama to have this licensed as a motorhome. So because she did that, I never had to get a CDL. I don't have to worry about that. I can tell you I would not want to be a commercial driver, and I would not want to drive anything larger than this. Our route to Manchester is like carefully planned out, so I don't have like any sharp turns when I'm going to hit something. I purposefully don't go on many highways. We don't even go down I-24 these days. We just go down like, what is the name of that road? Ragsdale? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Hey, Charlotte's here. Come on in, babe. Yeah. Come in over here.
I'm coming.
All right. Scoot it in so Charlotte can come in here too.
I can't scoot it.
All right. Yes, you can. So we're going to share a mic since Brooklyn's here tonight. All right. So you probably already realize what we've got here if you're watching on YouTube. Brooklyn, can you tell what this is?
So every year, Reddaroo, fantastic people, they always do a craft beer exchange every Friday. This year is actually going to be at 11. So if you are interested in craft beer, make your way down to group camp at 11 to participate in the craft beer exchange. They will have some of these beers partnered with the great brewery known as Common John Brewing out in Manchester. This is a mango kolsch, and it is, I had a little bit of taste yesterday. It is absolutely fantastic. It's nice and crushable, super light, perfect for a hot day on the farm. And the design is just incredible. The guys at Camp Reddaroo, they are, it's Rufus Du Sol. If you do not know, it's this famous song Inner Bloom. And the design on there is really interesting. Right here, it has like the lyrics to Inner Bloom and then the timestamp. It's just, for a person who is obsessed with Rufus Du Sol like me and loves beer, this is just the perfect thing ever. And a big shout out to LeBron, who was willing to
Thank you, LeBron.
let me go with a few of these yesterday. He's fantastic. Please go see him at Common John Brewing. If you guys make it to Manchester before you want to go in, go have a beer. They have really, really good food. They have good hot dogs, pizzas. They even have breakfast.
They do? Really?
Yeah, they
That's
got
cool.
breakfast.
I didn't know that.
Lots of good beers. They even have Malort. So if you want to go do some shots of Malort before you go into the farm, you should go to Common John Brewing.
Now, LeBron's the owner?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And he just opened up a location in Pulaski,
Wow.
too, which is actually closer
We'll
to
go
Huntsville.
visit.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to
Okay.
go visit. He
Yeah.
does Singo. He hosts himself Singo. Can't remember what night, but it's on their Instagram. We can look that up.
Okay.
Now, I want to hear more about that and this beer. Now, Charlotte had a question first.
I was going to say, Brooklyn, tell us what a Kolsch is. I don't know what
How
that
about we
is.
crack it
So
open while she
it's
tells?
A Kolsch is a German-style light beer. It's pretty basic. That's about as far as I know about a Kolsch, but yeah, they're delicious.
All right. I like having mine out of a glass, not necessarily a can. Nothing wrong with either. All right, Charlotte, wait. Me and Charlotte's going to try this at the same time.
Yeah, no, we've never
So-
tried it.
Thank you to Common John for hooking us up. Thank you to Brooklyn for bringing this
Thanks,
down
bro.
from Manchester. Happy Roo. Let's
Happy
get started early.
Roo.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's different. I can't remember ever having anything like that.
Mango Kolsch. Just a mango light beer.
So I'm going to try to describe it in my very undeveloped palate. I'm not a beer industry professional like you are. It has a hint of an IPA taste. It has a little bit more of a fruity taste. Just a very, very, very slight degree of like the kind of bitterness that you taste in an IPA. This is what it tastes like to me. What does it taste like to you, babe?
Okay, so you don't know anything about beer.
No, I don't. I'm not a
Neither
beer guy.
well, I was going to say, and neither do I. So that wasn't a put down. Neither do I.
No, I actually like it a lot. But go ahead.
But mostly I drink IPAs. Mostly I drink American IPAs is my favorite. This is very, very, very good. Like Brooklyn said, it is a light beer, and it's going to be perfect for drinking on the farm when it's 80, 90 degrees outside. It's very fruity, very light, kind of tastes like a blonde ale a little bit. To me.
Yeah, actually. That's a good description.
But yes, it's very good.
Now,
I do taste the mango a lot.
from the professional, can you give us a better description?
I am so shocked you compared it to an IPA because it is the exact opposite of an IPA. It's going to have kind of like a Coors Light forward bitterness style, I would say. But the mango sweetens it up in the finish, and it's just super crushable, like I said. Those of you who do not like IPAs, do not be afraid. It tastes nothing like an IPA.
No.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it really does not. I don't know. There's just like a hint of something that like just has a little bit of that crisp taste.
Yeah, it's
if that
crisp.
makes any sense. Now, I see, again, I'm not a beer guy. Can you give me more information on what the heck a Kolsch is?
No, I
You
can't.
She just told, I asked that question earlier.
I know. I just thought there might be more about
You're like
this.
2 sips in and you're already like, ugh.
Well, that just goes to show that I like it. Well, they did a fantastic job on this. I love the label. Brooklyn is very right that this is crushable. Do you think anybody could chug this whole thing?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. If you are into beer and you want to try this yourself, please come to the Craft Beer Exchange. I know Camp Reddaroo will be really excited to see you. I'm going to
Yes.
be there sitting on the corner with Straight to L beer. Marketing always sends me with 3 cases at least to trade out with everybody. I might have a couple of stickers and merch from Straight to L if you're familiar with us in Huntsville, Alabama too.
Go and see them. What kind of beer do you think you're going to bring from Straight?
Okay, so this is what I noticed with the first 2 years that I've done this. At first, my first year, I thought stouts would not be popular, or people wouldn't like the stouts.
Mhm.
People love the stouts. People love Stout at the Devil because most of the styles that you see people having around, what?
I'm delirious. I spilled some. Please continue.
Anyways, most of the styles that you're going to see are IPAs. And as a person that's been going to the Craft Beer Exchange since the beginning for me, I'm so tired of seeing IPAs at the craft beer exchange. I want to see Kolsch's. I want to see Pilsners. I want to see some Hefeweizens. Last year, one person did have a Hefeweizen. It was that raspberry Hefeweizen, which they actually have on tap at Common John. It's not theirs.
Really?
It's not theirs, but I can't remember
Okay.
the beer. It starts with an S. Stouts too, porters, all kinds of beers, sours mostly. Sours go well.
I'd love a sour. Thank you.
Smoothie sours, anything from Prairie. Artisan Ales really is good stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm probably gonna have a case of Stout at the Devil. Probably gonna have a case of Bramble On, which is a blackberry lemon sour. I'm staying away from Monkey Knot, which is our flagship IPA. I'm not bringing it. I'm going to try my best not to bring any IPAs. I might bring her Chill Pills, which is our flagship crushable
People
light
always have
beer.
to bring that.
Yeah.
So,
So I might stay away from our flagship 4 other than Stout at the Devil. But yeah, if you are into beer, just find me at the Craft Beer Exchange. Go find LeBron, shake his hand. He's a cool guy. Go talk to Kevin Barnes. He's fantastic. And just really the whole Reddaroo group. They're fantastic. And this is one of my favorite parts of Bonnaroo.
big shout out to Mike from Reddaroo.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Works on the beer
Mike.
with Common John.
You're fantastic, Mike.
So, Brooklyn, I got a question for you. What is your favorite beer that you've ever gotten at the beer exchange?
Ooh, that's hard. I
I have an answer.
don't even know.
I have an answer.
I don't even know. I've gotten so many good. I think it was from Prairie, which is, I mean, I know it's a bigger, they have like a bigger distribution. So you can find Prairie here, Prairie Artisan Ales. You can find them all the way down here in Alabama. But my favorite one was this mint chocolate chip stout that I got last year from Prairie. So good.
I think my favorite may have been the first Reddaroo beer that they did with Pontoon back in the day.
Yeah.
It had a very fruity taste. I don't remember what it was. I don't even remember what was on the label. I just remember that I loved it. And we had a beer. There was a picture of the bus on one of those.
Yep.
And I'll be honest.
Intergalactic Space
Yeah.
Rave. And it was like guava, pear, something. It had
was-
all
get out of
kinds of fruit.
It was pretty good. I liked it, but that first beer that they did with Pontoon Brewing was amazing. I miss it. You know, we were over at Taco's house about a month or so ago. He let me and Charlotte crash in the basement, and he had like a whole display.
He showed
with
me
like
last
all
time
the
I was
different
there.
Reddaroo beers. Yeah, he had like a little museum of beer.
I just have the one IPA from last year unopened on my Bonnaroo trinket shelf,
Mm-hmm.
and one unopened is gonna sit. One of these is gonna sit there next to it.
When I was in Jersey City a couple of months ago, Skylar and Evan had saved a can from last year because we went to this great Italian restaurant where you had to kind of BYOB, and he brought a can of last year's for us to share. Well, we had this amazing Italian dinner that they treated me to. That was such a good night. Thank you, Evan and Skylar. I appreciated that. But anything else? You made a whole trip to Manchester the other day. You want to tell everybody what you saw?
So, my boyfriend took me to Manchester because it's going to be his first year at Bonnaroo, first big major festival. And I've been dying to go see LeBron at Common John, and it was my birthday weekend. So he took me.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. He took me, and we drove the 2 hours in the pouring rain just to go to Common John. So we pulled up and we sat there, and then LeBron comes and sits next to me, and he just gives us the special treatment. We just had such a good time chatting with them, and I'm pretty sure we stayed there for about 4 or 5 hours. It felt like,
Man.
yeah, like we ended up sitting outside on that stage area with Bull, John, LeBron, and Dave. Shout out to you guys. Y'all are awesome. Can't wait to see you guys on the farm. I know Bull said that I probably won't see him, but it'd be cool to see you guys again. Dave, I got your shirt. I already washed it for you.
You're all welcome here at the bus. Come and see us.
But yeah, we hung out with them for a while. John pulled out the bottle of Malort since it was my birthday. Of course, I yacked up my entire lunch because of the Malort. Hey, puke and rally with the big dogs.
You're starting early in Manchester.
So then we were getting ready to leave, and then the bottom fell out, and it was just pouring down rain. So we were like, you know what? I still want to show you like part of the farm. So we drove by. I kind of got lost. I had to call Daniel up to.
It was like
Yep.
turn right at the winery.
Yep. I'm never the one driving in.
We never have to go
Yep.
that way anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we drove by, and I tried to get some good shots, and
What did you see? What was happening on the
I
farm?
saw lots of porta potties. I saw the wet stage. I saw the tents setting up. A security car that was looking at us like we were going to break in, so we had to dip on out. I saw the disco tower. I actually got a picture of that one. And then that was it. We didn't want to like overstay our welcome or anything. We didn't want to be those people. So
I think it's okay to drive by and look.
yeah,
It is a
that's
public
exactly what we did, and we went home.
How did the grounds look? I know that's a hot topic right now.
Wet.
You.
I mean, we didn't get out and step
Yeah.
anywhere, but you can definitely tell like there's high hopes for this year. Like you can definitely tell the infrastructure is a little bit better just from looking out there.
Now, you opened a can of worms by talking about weather stuff and it raining over there, because now that we are close enough, people are a little antsy because of the situation last year and they're starting to think about the weather. Well, good news. Shayna, friend of the show, sometimes co-host of the show, hooked us up with a good friend of hers that is in the Loophole to Reality group. And I am happy to have some real science on the show. We have a real life meteorologist to help us understand a little bit about like what happened with all these festivals that went with weather cancellations last year, obviously ours as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about what may be in store for us this year. Not necessarily a forecast. You got to get closer to, that's right in my face. Thank you, babe. We got to get closer to Monterey before we can get a detailed forecast as she will describe. But let's go ahead and jump into that. And then the three of us will be back in just a moment. Y'all, I am always very happy to feature somebody that works in a science-related field. So I'm thrilled to death to have a new friend, Emily, join us today. How you doing, Em?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh, well, I'm thrilled to have you. I think we have our mutual friend, Shayna, with the Loophole Camping Group to thank for us. She told me a little bit about what you're up to at the day job, and I'm like, oh, wait, I got to talk to this person. This is exactly the type of guest I want to have on. You're Rubian. You have a really cool day job. You have some interesting stuff you can tell us about, I'm sure. Can you tell us a little bit about like how long you've been going to Roo? When was your first one?
Yeah, so my first Roo was actually 2024. And before that, I was always just super interested. I always loved EDM. I always loved kind of the festival scene, the rave scene. And then my bestie Madison is actually the one that kind of got me on Bonnaroo, because I had always kind of knew what it was. I grew up in the Memphis area, so it was kind of like this music festival that every so often people would go to. And then, yeah, my best friend Madison from college, we lived together our senior year, and she just always would talk about Bonnaroo. And once we graduated, I was like, okay, like next Bonnaroo, now that I'm graduated, I have adult money. Let's do it. I want to go. And so, yeah, so I went with her 2024, had a blast. And that was kind of, the rest is history. You know, that was kind of my full jump into festival culture and rave culture and all of that. And then, yeah, and then last year obviously didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but it was still a lot of fun. We made the most of it. So I'm excited to be back this year and have my second full Roo, hopefully.
You know, it's amazing. I talked to a lot of Rubians that have been going only recently. That's kind of wild that you only just started going in 2024, because like from what I've heard of you and the way that you talk, you already sound like a seasoned veteran. It sounds like you may have gotten like the full experience in 24 that made you ready to go the rest of the time, and maybe to some other events too.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that was kind of when I got bit by the festival bug. So later in 2024, I went to Elements Music Festival in Pennsylvania, and then where else have I been since then? I did Halloween last year for the first time. That was a blast. I'm going back to Halloween this year. I'm going to Electric Forest this year for the first time as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. And then I guess in between the big festivals, I've been to God knows how many shows and little weekend shows and things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've just kind of gone headfirst into it, and it's cool to kind of find these people that are veterans and have been doing this forever. And so I feel like that's why I've been able to kind of bump my knowledge up quickly, because I'm surrounded by people that know way more than me.
Oh, well, no, I think you're very well experienced from everything that you talked about. In fact, I'm just now realizing we probably definitely crossed paths at Halloween. I was there with my sister Brooklyn this past year, so we probably definitely ran into you a number of times.
Yeah, and I was camping with Shayna and all them too.
Yeah, I
So
was across
yep,
the street. Like, I think we did run into each other like once or twice. We were kind of
yeah.
doing our own thing over there quite a bit. But I think now that I remember it, it was very dark and I couldn't see everybody's faces. But I think I was sitting across the campfire from you one night back there.
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right. I met a lot of people that night, so yeah.
Right. It got kind of weird at like 3 a.m. once we got back from all those different sets. So who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Now I have another question. I saw a cat behind you just a moment ago. What's that cat's name?
This is Mac.
Mac.
It's short for macaroni.
I love him. Well, my cat Ricky is back here somewhere. He walked around over there. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about like what you do in your career. Like Charlotte and I both work in science. We're a big fan of anybody that does this kind of stuff. I do feel like you do a very important service. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do at the day job?
Yeah, of course. So, I'm a broadcast meteorologist. I've been doing it since 2022-ish. I've kind of had an interesting, I guess, transition into the
Yeah.
field. But yeah, I've always had this passion for weather. And then when I was in high school, I found this passion for journalism and storytelling. And for a little while, I kind of had to debate, do I want to go into weather? Do I want to be a meteorologist? Or do I want to be a journalist or go into TV or journalism? And because I love to write, I love to do that type of thing as well. And then, yeah, it just kind of dawned on me that I could essentially do both if I went into broadcast meteorology. So, yeah, so I basically did that. And so my day job is literally waking up really, really early in the morning and going into the TV station and forecasting, building all the graphics, and then going on air. And yeah, it's been fun. I've kind of been a couple places now. So right now I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Before I was in Wisconsin, I was in Mankato, Minnesota, which is like southern Minnesota. And yeah, I was there for a couple years. That was my first TV job. Now I'm in Wisconsin, and who knows where I'll be next.
Yeah, I have known a good handful of people that have worked in TV news and one or two that have worked in your specific gig, doing TV meteorology. I'm curious for anybody that may be watching or listening who is thinking like, maybe I want to get into this career. We do have a lot of like younger listeners. What would you recommend for them to do for like their college degree and how to get a foot in the door?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of an interesting field because there's not necessarily one specific way to get into it. The way I did it is probably the most cut and dry way. I went to Mississippi State. Mississippi State is really known for its meteorology, especially TV meteorology.
Yeah.
And yeah, majored in geosciences with a concentration in broadcast meteorology. And that was kind of my direct pathway right in. But I've also met people that come from communications backgrounds. Maybe their bachelor's degree is in communication or
Yeah, that was
journalism,
interesting.
something like that. And then you get your master's in atmospheric science or meteorology or anything like that. So there's a little bit of kind of wiggle room as far as how exactly you get there, but you definitely need that college degree. And if anyone younger is maybe listening, I would highly suggest do really well in your math classes, do really well in your science classes, because you will need that. And then the other side of things is public speaking classes are great, especially if you want to go the TV route. Public speaking, I know a lot of people that came from theater backgrounds, and that definitely helps them in terms of, being able to have a TV personality and things like that. So yeah, there's kind of some wiggle room on how to get there, but obviously I'm biased towards Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I'll drop the fact one out of 3 TV meteorologists has some kind of affiliation with Mississippi State. So that's probably the place to go. But like I said, I'm a little biased.
Yeah, we have a friend who is like a James Spann protege. Anybody that works in weather probably knows his name, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Simpson. He used to be here at Channel 19 here in Huntsville. He's down in the Birmingham area now, and he's been kind of like a friend to the bus. We've kind of trolled him back and forth for years, and he's kind of given us forecasts a couple of times before Rue. I sent him pizza one year just for sending us a forecast. That was a fun prank to play on him at the station. But yeah, you're right. We have a good friend, JB, who went to Mississippi State as well. Not for that. He was in finance, but I have heard much about tales from the Egg Bowl and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you a question. Let's kind of merge the two topic areas. So last year was kind of a tough year, not just for Bonnaroo, but for a lot of festivals, because there were so many torrential downpours at so many different festivals that caused so many problems. Like, and I'm curious because this is what you do day to day. Like, is there any like science that tells us like why exactly that happened so much in 25?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really pinpoint it to one particular thing, right? There's so many different layers and different patterns that are kind of merging. But I mean, in general, without getting too into it, I think the festival space in general is going to run into a lot of weather extremes. I mean, that's part of climate change. It's part of just these changing patterns. We're going to be seeing more extreme weather, whether that's extreme cold, extreme hot, extreme, going from a drought to a flood in very quick times. We're on that upswing of that trend. And so that's kind of where I almost have my worlds colliding a little bit, because I kind of see this space. And so that's why I was so excited to be able to get to talk to you and kind of put those two things together, because I feel like there is a need and a space for scientists specifically in terms of these large capacity outdoor events. I mean, whether it's a festival or sporting events, things like that. And I've seen an increasing number of sports teams and stadiums that actually are bringing meteorologists onto their staff. And it makes a lot of sense. And so that's kind of, I've been thinking in my head, I wonder if that would be a future career option for me, would be like a festival meteorologist, because I feel like there definitely would be a need for that, especially as we see more and more extreme weather patterns.
Yeah, you're kind of right. I feel like a very specific on the spot forecast could help a lot with like on the scene operations, because like if you have a big headliner that's supposed to be going on at say like 9 o'clock, and it's the middle of the summer when these pop-up storms could happen, you don't kind of want to just guess at it by pulling up the app on your phone. You probably want to have somebody that actually knows what the heck they're talking about that can give you a little bit more detail, right? Have you heard of any position that does that already? Is that kind of a thing that exists?
Not yes and no. I've kind of done a little bit of digging as far as does that exist. And really what I've found is that there's kind of a branch of meteorology that I guess the umbrella term would be like consulting meteorologists. And there's like seals and certifications that you can get specifically to be like a certified consulting meteorologist. And I've seen now there's been more movement towards like the private business aspect of that. So I know some people that are consulting meteorologists, and they don't necessarily specifically do festivals and things like that, but they're essentially on call for insurance companies and like power companies and anything like that. And so they're essentially kind of like doing point forecasts for those types of things, and they're working along with stadiums, sporting events, things like that. I actually know meteorologists that work for cruise lines and things like that too. So I think there's definitely people doing it. Like you can have these private consulting meteorologists, but as far as I know, I haven't seen any that are like specifically that festival like niche. So that's kind of where I'm curious to see, especially because I feel like festivals in general, they're just becoming so much larger scale. There's so many people involved, there's so much insurance involved, and there's a lot of money involved. And so I'm curious if that'll be something that develops a bit more down the line.
You would think so. As much insurance money that is tied into these things, as many of us have learned after what happened last year, it feels like if not Live Nation's Live Nation or C3, it would be the insurance company itself that would be like, hey, we kind of want to have this person on staff, so we make sure that we handle this in the most correct way. That's interesting. I feel like if it doesn't exist, that's something that will soon exist, especially after so many events dealt with this last year. Now, speaking of last year, you're probably the most well-versed person to talk about this. For anybody that didn't go last year, who is coming this year and has heard the horror stories, can you tell us a little bit about like why the situation at Bonnaroo last year in 25 was a little different than any other year, and hopefully is very different than this year?
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, I mean, granted, I really I only really started fine-tuning my Bonnaroo forecasting a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, the area was already very saturated. It was like very much they were already seeing a lot of precipitation. And so basically it all came down to not necessarily the timing of the storms, it's more so the intensity and the suddenness of the storms that really made an issue. And then more so just the drainage was kind of what caused a lot of the problems. And so I think that that was kind of an interesting situation compared to what I had seen happen at other festivals. I mentioned earlier that I went to Elements Music Festival in 2024, and that also was like a rained out type of festival. One of the days got canceled, and that was because of essentially a leftover chunk of tropical weather that was coming through. And that one was interesting because it was definitely a lot more of a long duration event compared to what we saw at Bonnaroo. Because I feel like at Bonnaroo we had, this quick downpour, but it kind of came quick, it ended quick, and then we had multiple rounds of that happening. When I was at Elements, it was like 12 hours straight of just downpour. And so that was a little bit of a unique situation because it was doing damage to stages and things like that. There was a lot of like actual physical damage done across the property and everything. But I think just because of the geography of where it was, it recovered very quickly. So everything was very wet, everything was very muddy, but a lot of people who had their camps flooded, 24 hours later, it was totally fine.
Yeah.
And so that, I think, is kind of the difference between that versus what happened at Roo last year, was just there wasn't anywhere for that rain to go. And so I think, like, I know that they've been making a lot of improvements with drainage and things like that. So I would assume that nothing like that would happen again, barring, a major weather event. But a major weather event, we would have some kind of lead time on. We would know probably about a week out, hey, we're going to see a tropical system, or we're going to see this major system. And so I'm hopeful that we wouldn't see anything like that happen again. But yeah, from my understanding, most of it just kind of came down to the drainage.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how much you had looked into like some of their social media posts and things that they had told everybody, but yeah, they put some significant money into it over the off season. They identified the areas that did pull up, like you were kind of talking about. They have marked that off. Nobody's going to be camping there should the worst happen. They've put in crazy things like French drains inside Centeroo that's going to hopefully mitigate worst case scenario and everything. And it's funny that you mentioned that because like I had talked with some people behind the scenes, and like besides people's campsites being flooded, one of the things that they were most concerned about last year in 25 was like, okay, it's waterlogged. These dirt roads are going to turn into a mud pit. Can we get like the truck that takes care of the porta potties through, for example? That would be a bad deal for everybody if those things couldn't get through. So it was a lot of logistical details. In addition to like just everything being soaked. I mean, that did suck for the people that got flooded, but it would have sucked for everybody if we were stuck there for 2 or 3 days and essential services couldn't have gotten through, because we have to remember they build a temporary miniature city with like anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 people. Once the train stops running, the citizens start having some unrest. So it's understandable why they would exercise some caution in that situation. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about like what's in store for this year. So it is too early. I know how this stuff works. It's too early to go into specific detail, but I'm curious what like the patterns and some of the model forecasts have been able to tell you so far.
Yeah, so we're kind of just now getting into range. Generally for me, once we get 14 days out from a given day. That's usually when I'm comfortable looking at those overarching patterns, right? We're looking at, are we trending warm? Are we trending cold? Are we trending rainy? Are we trending dry? That's kind of the main overarching thing that we start to look at. Once we get into like 10 days out, that's when we can start looking a little closer. At that point, I wouldn't be comfortable saying, you know, the high is going to be 86, but I could probably give you a good idea of we're looking at the 80s versus the 90s, or we're looking at, you know, several rain chances versus no rain chances. And then once we get within 7 days, that's when we can usually start pumping out actual numbers, actual percentages, and start to see that confidence build. So last year, I can't remember exactly when I put out my first Rue forecast last year. I want to say it was probably in that 10-day range. And then once you kind of have that main core forecast, it's just updating it from there. So I plan on doing the same thing this year. Probably once we get 10 days out, I'll put that first thing out. I know last year I had everything posted in the various Facebook groups. I'll definitely have that stuff up in the Loophole group and see where it ends up from there. I know last year those little forecast graphics that I made ended up on Reddit and all over the place. So
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, hopefully that'll happen again this year. I mean, that's why I created it. That's kind of what inspired me to start doing that last year, was I just started seeing people freaking out about the weather in groups a month ahead. And like, I'll get on my soapbox for a second. Your weather app is crap. It really is. It is, especially at this point. I mean, you can certainly be looking at your weather app at this point for the overarching patterns. You know, like I said, is it going to be really hot? Is it going to be really cold? You can kind of look at those trends. So when you're looking at that long term, you can see, is it consistently putting rain? Is it putting rain one day and then the next day it's not, and then the next day it's back? Just look for those overarching trends at this point. But I mean, at the end of the day, your weather app is not a substitute for what I'm going to tell you, or what any of your local meteorologists are going to tell you. Essentially, your weather app is using 1, maybe 2 weather models and AI, and it's spitting out a number. I'm not going to necessarily say it's going to be 100% completely wrong. It'll still give you a decent idea, but I keep seeing stuff in groups over the last couple days of there's a 30% rain chance on every single day. Yeah, that's usually pretty common for Tennessee in summer.
That's summertime in the South.
Yeah, and so, like I said, I mean, until you're 2 days out, your weather app really is not going to be any benefit to anybody. So I would highly suggest don't even look at it. I always tell my friends, I don't even start looking at the forecast for something until, like I said, we're 10 days out. And then even 10 days out, your weather app is still going to be crap. It's not going to be anything helpful. So just if you're getting antsy about the weather, if anyone listening or watching is getting antsy about the weather, I am not worried yet. I'll tell you when to be worried. That's always even last year, 5 days out, 7 days out, there was some indication that we were going to be looking at some larger scale rain chances, but I wasn't concerned until we got 2 or 3 days out. And that was when I was starting to look at some of the numbers and I was like, yeah, this is a little more than your typical Tennessee thunderstorm, you know, like this could actually be more of a major event. But like I said, I didn't have that confidence until probably about 2 days out. So don't freak out about the weather at this point. Like I said, I'll tell you when to freak out.
You know, one thing that we should follow up on, though, is like one big difference between last year and this year is, and I can tell you because I'm just an hour down the road from the farm, it was beyond waterlogged already. Like it felt like it rained from like February to June last year. My yard was a mud pit over there next to the bus. It hasn't been that. Now, given that it has rained pretty good here, like over the past like 5 or 6 days, but we have been catching up on drought conditions basically around here. So you tell me, that makes a big difference, does it not?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like I said, it all comes down to the drainage and things like that. I mean, the whether or not the ground is waterlogged isn't going to affect whether or not it's going to rain, but it impacts how impactful the rain will be. And ideally you want to be somewhere in between because you don't want a drought want a full drought, because if the ground is too dry, then it essentially tries to overcompensate. So then that's when you run into the mudslides and you run into that type of thing, because the grass isn't really able to catch up to it. So, I mean, really what we're seeing now is kind of ideal in terms of things not getting flooded, to be able to have a little bit of moisture in there so everything's not completely dead and dry, but it's not going to be super waterlogged. And I think that is, again, one of those long-term patterns that we can certainly look at. Like I said, at this point last year, things were looking already very muddy and very wet. So the fact that we're not at that point right now, definitely I feel pretty good about that. My other thing that I actually just texted a couple of my friends this the other day is at this point, that's my big disclaimer. At this point, I'm not expecting this year to be a major scorcher as in terms of heat. Again, that's kind of one of those overarching patterns that we can start to look at. I can't tell you right now what the high temperature will be, but it looks like it's not going to be insanely hot. So that's good news. Especially coming from me. Like I said, I live in Wisconsin now. I spent most of my life in Mississippi, so I'm totally familiar with the heat and humidity, but now I'm in Wisconsin, and it was only this week that we just got hot. Like literally last week we were still below freezing overnight. And so I've been dreading having to go from that to Tennessee heat. So,
well, listen, let me tell you, like, it's been raining here pretty good the past 2 or 3 days, but the sun has come out good over here. And I just stepped out to like check on some things, go to the mailbox, and like my app on my watch and phone says it's 81, but the humidity makes it feel way worse than that right about now. It's wild.
Yeah,
Now,
totally believe it.
Yeah. Now, Emily, I want to get a different kind of forecast from you as well. Where are you forecasting the best vibes? Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Oh gosh. Honestly, so this year I'm trying to, so I tried this out at Halloween last year for the first time, where I didn't study the lineup. I just kind of went with who I already knew, picked out a handful of like can't miss sets, and then just tried to just go with the flow. Because I feel like in other festivals, I've had this jam-packed set where it's like, okay, I gotta go here, then I gotta run here, then I gotta run here, stay here for 20 minutes, then run here. And like at Halloween, I was like, I'm not gonna run between stages. I'm just gonna pick my handful of can't miss sets and then just see where I end up. So I'm trying to use that same idea at Bonnaroo this year. So I haven't been studying the lineup too much, but I am really excited for Skrillex. I mean, that's just legendary. That's going to be an insane set, especially for Thursday. And then Rufus probably is on my top list too. Other than that, I'm just going to kind of see where I'm going. I mean, I'm more into the EDM side of things, so more times than not, you'll probably catch me at the other stage. One of the days in particular I was looking at, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to leave the other stage. I might just be there the whole day. So if you're ever looking for me, that's probably where you'll find me.
You need to make sure that you go check out this new Where stage with the UFO that's going to be in the corner. I think for people that are into that kind of music like you, that's going to be a big surprise.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that, because when I went in 2024, my first Roo, I think felt the most connected to the vibes in the woods.
Yeah.
Like that was all day I was looking forward to going into the woods that night. And that was probably, if I had to nail down like my one favorite thing about Bonnaroo, it's that. And so I'm a little disappointed that it won't be exactly the same in the woods, but I think them bringing the UFO stage into Centeroo is kind of a good compromise. So yeah, I'm excited for the vibes there. Yeah, and then also, I mean, obviously, I'm camping with Loophole. Shout out, gotta plug Loophole, and that group pre-party is gonna be a blast. It was a blast last year. Being in group last year was really fun too. So this is my second year doing group. And last year, even once everything went downhill, it was still so much fun in group. People were everywhere. It was a party. It was a blast, and we were just playing in the mud together. So I'm excited to have more days of that.
Well, yeah, make sure. Hey, are you coming in early Wednesday? Because you need to come to the stuff that they're doing at the Group Plaza stage Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be a blast. 'Cause
Yep, I will
we're going to be
definitely
neighbors.
be there. I will
Yeah.
definitely be there. I'm flying into Nashville Tuesday night. And me and my bestie Madison, shout out, we're staying in a hotel in Nashville, and then we'll be on the way to the farm first thing Wednesday.
All right. Well, stop and see us. The bus will be there right at the entrance to the Group Plaza when you come in. Come in and hook us up. We'll spoil you at the Monkey Bar over there next to the bus.
Sounds like a blast.
Look, Emily, I was thinking like one thing that we ought to do is like a fun like Instagram reel or something like that. You know, we're talking about like a vibe forecast for all these. You were
Oh
joking
yeah.
around that you could like totally code switch, you know, because like you go on TV a lot. It would have been funny if like we'd be like, well, tonight we're going to be at Skrillex. There's a 90% chance of wookery or something like that. We had to make a little reel or something.
Yeah, make me do my like TV voice.
I feel like you've already been saying it, but is your TV voice a little bit different than what I've been hearing?
I'd say I feel like right now I'm kind of in my slightly toned down TV voice.
I kind of got that
Like
idea.
like it's not my full on forecast voice that you would hear. My cat's peeking in.
There he is.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's not my full on TV voice, but I'd say it's probably adjacent to it because I'm
Yeah.
still projecting a little bit. I'm trying to not sound like a Valley like girl because that's like how I usually like talk.
No,
So
I was going to say, I want to hear your non-TV voice once I run into you at one of these wild shows.
yeah, you definitely will. At that point you will. You'll see me fully in my element.
Yeah. Well, Emily, thanks so much for hanging out, and thank you for your public service. Like, I know a lot of people think, you know, public servants are like, you know, first responders and stuff like that, but it's also the people that are on TV when there's a tornado or whatever coming through. So thank you so much for doing what you can to keep everybody safe. It's really appreciated. Around here, we respect the science of these things, especially science communicators. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to chat. We'll have to talk shop a bit. But yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. And I mean, it's kind of the weird thing about TV meteorology in particular is like obviously you're not looking forward to severe weather ever. You don't want those things to happen, but that is like why most of us got into the job. And so usually my hardest days at work are usually my most fulfilling as well. And up here, we don't have as much severe weather as what you guys have down south, of course, but what we don't have in severe weather, we have in winter weather. This year, I got to forecast and cover my first blizzard, and it was actually a record-breaking blizzard. I think I worked for like 14 hours straight that day, and it was a blast. It was exhausting, but it is really fulfilling to be able to be that servant to the community. And it's kind of fun to just be a part of that community. I have people that reach out to me all the time, you know, thanks so much for covering this. Thanks so much for covering this. And so, yeah, it's definitely very fulfilling, and it's always cool to be recognized for that.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that a lot.
Seriously, thank you for your work. And once you step foot on the farm, throw that all out the window because you're there to get lit. That's all. Forget all that once you get there.
Yeah, exactly. That's my friends kind of know my rule is if I'm on vacation or if it's a festival or whatever, once we get there, don't ask me a question about the weather. I don't know. I'm honestly a very much like, once I get to the farm, I turn my phone off, I put it in the glove box, and it doesn't get touched the whole time. I'm like pretty adamant on that. Because so much of my job is social media and being in front of a screen. So whenever I have that opportunity to not have to answer my phone and not have to look at a screen, I'm definitely there. So yeah.
Well, may that be a lesson to us all. I think we should follow your example on that. Thank you again, Emily. Thank you to you and the cat for hanging out today and telling us a little bit more about the science of these things. I appreciate you. And I will see you in 2 weeks just down the road at Loophole.
Yep, I will see you then. And then keep an eye out for my Roo forecasts. I should start cranking them out on social media.
Oh,
probably by the end of the week.
I want to commit to something right now. I'm one of the part-time moderators on the Bonnaroo Reddit. When you post that, ping me. We will pin it so everybody will have known this conversation. So Emily is now the source on the Bonnaroo Reddit to give us the up-to-date Bonnaroo forecast. I trust you more than anybody on this.
Well, thank you. I feel like pressure's on. I'll do my best.
No.
I'll do my best. But yeah, that's also a great place if anyone has questions or whatever. Especially once we get a bit closer. I know a lot of people are traveling from far away, flying in, myself included. So if you're maybe in another part of the country and you're thinking, is my flight gonna get canceled or whatever? Yeah, that's a great spot. So I'll be looking for that pin post for sure. And then I'll make sure I check in there every so often and see if there's any questions to answer.
Perfect. We will make that happen. Thank you, Emily. I'll talk to you soon. See you in a few weeks.
Yeah, see you on the farm.
Oh, thank you so much. That was awesome.
All right. So me and Brooklyn's going to sit here and BS, but I understand you got to go. You got some stuff to get done.
Yes,
Right?
I have so much stuff to do for Bonnaroo, but we're going to see you on the farm next week.
Big same.
All right. So bye, Charla. Thank you. All right. Me and you sticking around, though. I want to catch up with you. How is your packing going? What have you got going on?
Whew. Well, I think we got just about everything in except for 2 tapestries, which actually come in tomorrow. We got one that says it's got a dog in a wheelchair thing, and he's staring at the ocean, and it says, "What the fuck is oatmeal?"
What?
And then we got another one of a medieval cat that's stirring a pot, and it says, "That's it, you're going in the soup."
Where do you find these things?
Amazon.
Charla got some unhinged ones too.
I got a Marcus the Worm plushie today.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spill the beans.
Oh, I thought we were going to save it to be a surprise.
I'm working on a totem. I've been working so hard on this new totem. I have scrapped Tahine Queen, and I'm making a Marcus the Worm totem. And he is just all glitter, and his arms are gonna move.
Can you explain Marcus the Worm for anybody
No.
that hasn't heard?
No, one does not simply. I'm just kidding.
It cannot be explained.
He's just a character from VR chat. I've seen him on TikTok. He just says he's got like not an AI voice. Well, it is technically an AI voice, but the guy who recorded his voice for this AI voice is a real dude. And I have found the real dude too on TikTok, and he's just funny. But yeah, he says stuff like, "I have atomized an Applebee's."
It's all these like
Market.
completely unhinged things in this like monotone, serious voice, and he's like a giant worm. It's
Robert,
hard to understand.
I don't like this rock. I have been adequately moisturized.
I think I saw a totem of him last year, but it was just a picture. It's not like anything as intricate as what I've seen.
You
you
probably
make.
saw him at Halloween because
Maybe I did.
I guess he's I don't know how long he's existed. It doesn't feel like he's existed for a year. But maybe he has.
He has always existed. He is the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah. Our Lord and Savior Marcus the Worm Christ.
He always was and always shall be.
Anyways, if you see Marcus the Worm totem that's just like a bunch of pink glitter and his arms can move,
That's her.
That's me. Come up to me, and if you like Marcus the Worm, I'll have some candy for you, hopefully, if I don't give it all away.
I saw the candy that she's working on. Some of them are batshit insane. I came up to her apartment last week. We were going somewhere. Where were we going? I don't even remember. But I came to pick you up. And what were we doing?
You took me to Cheddar's for my birthday.
We did. It was her birthday. So I took you and we met Charlotte, and your mom pulled up and we all got a steak and a show because some guy was really mad about something. But
no, he was like, I was looking out the window and it was raining, and Cheddar's have these lanterns that are like real flame, and he was just mesmerized by it. And he put his dad glasses on where they attach like right here. He did that, and he was just like trying to put his warm his hand from it, and this went on for like a good 15 minutes. I'm not even joking. I got like blurry videos of it, but that was very entertaining. Oh, and then some other woman was on the phone talking really loud, and then the couple or the family behind us was like, "Hey, you quiet down over there." And then the woman was like, "I'm not gonna quiet down. You just quiet down." And then we were just like, this is about to be an Applebee's.
Can I please get a waffle?
It was entertaining.
I was just there to have a steak and a drink for your birthday, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know we're going the long way around on this, but you also got that PlayStation 5 for
I
your birthday. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
did.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay,
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
going to return to that in a minute, but let's go back
okay.
around. You were making a bunch of candy. How many have you made so far?
Probably 30.
Ooh.
I need to keep going. I need to at least make like 200. That's why I'm like, we got to wrap this up because I got to get home and finish the totem. I got to finish these candies.
Oh,
I got to play a little bit of Ghost of Yotai.
I was about to say, we both got that at the same time because it was on sale on PlayStation. And I knew you had been wanting to get that. You got your PS5. So, like, we both got it at the same time. I'm not going to race with you to see who finishes it first. This is going to be like, okay, who can keep going without finishing it because there's so many side quests in that game.
This game is large and in charge.
Yes.
I love it.
So I think that can
It's very similar to the first one, too. I love how the mechanics are pretty much the same. It's just a little bit advanced because it's the newer console versus the PS4.
That can be our pick of the week. We're both enjoying that right now.
Yes. Oh, and then after that, I'm going to do Crimson Desert.
Yes, I keep hearing good things about that.
I'm going to wait till it goes on sale. But
Yeah, well, I had to wait forever for Ghost of Yotai.
if I'm done with Ghost of Yotai by October, I think I'm going to just go ahead and
That's a long way.
oh yeah, I'm taking my sweet time with this.
Before we get out of here, since this is not the last episode before we go to Rue, but the second to last, we'll have one more next week. Remind everybody who you're most looking forward to, besides Rufus Du Sol, obviously.
Hot Mulligan!
Ooh, okay. Now, tell anybody who may not be aware of that band why you like them. What do they sound like?
They call themselves the hot new emo band of the century. They're fun, pop punk. JB actually described them very well in his little TikTok videos where he makes the bracelets.
Yeah.
He's doing an artist every day.
He does a good job.
Go look at JB's TikToks. He's been doing a phenomenal job on that.
Good job,
But like he mentioned that it's the lyrics sound like it's something straight out of his diary, and the wailing, cracking voices and the screaming and just the raw emotion. And it's a pop punk band, so they always have silly song names.
Equip Sunglasses. That's my favorite song.
I made a candy that says Equip.
I saw that. Yeah.
Come find me during Hot Mulligan. You might get that candy.
Anybody else? What other bands are you looking forward to?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to look. I've been so swamped. Let me just pull up that.
While you're getting that, I'll tell you some of the ones that I'm looking forward to. I understand if you can't make it with me, if there's conflicts. Amel and the Sniffers, I am so pumped about. I'm going to try to get up front.
Anal Sniffers?
Amel and the Sniffers. Yeah, they're a side project of the Butthole Surfers. Yeah. All right, what do you got here?
Grizz. Grizz is going to be fun.
Always a good time.
Okay, I gotta
Now, can I tell you something without offending you? I may leave Rufus about 10 or 15 minutes early so I can go get in the Weird Owl pit.
That's great for you.
That is great for me.
I'm not leaving a second of Rufus. I'm so excited. I have finally, it's been a long journey. I have finally gotten back into Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
Oh, here we go.
This is a deep cut. My first year in 2017, that was my absolute favorite band. And this was like my second concert experience was Bonnaroo. So the first band that I was like really wanting to see, my first concert was, I still claim it as Rainbow Kitten Surprise. It was during the day at What Stage. He gave me Ricky the Cat Totem. I had rainbow shorts on and like a rainbow hat.
Your arms were rainbow. I remember that. That's a core memory for me.
A little cat ears. Like, it was, I did whiskers, I think. I went nuts. It was so great. And you know how it goes. Like, you get into an artist and then you continue your music journey and you find other artists you like and you just kind of forget about them, which it was kind of hard to forget about Rainbow Kitten Surprise because they have blown up since then. And then I've thought, oh, they've become so mainstream, I'm not going to listen to them anymore.
Really?
No, I've listened to the recent albums and it's, God, so good. So good. And when they were supposed to play and Grizz did that Golden Hour set instead and they played Free Fall. Grizz played that version of Free Fall. I cried so hard, and now I'm finally gonna get to see Rainbow Kitten Surprise on the farm again, hopefully. This has been 3 years in the making, and me getting back into them, and I'm really, really excited for that set.
There was another time we saw them too. You may be forgetting. We saw
Oh.
them at Live on the Green in
Oh,
Nashville.
I've seen them
when that was a
multiple
thing.
times. I've
Yeah.
saw them in Tuscaloosa with Charla, and there
That's
was a bunch of
right.
people there was a bunch of girls in front of us. Rude girls. And I remember this is a core memory for me. I remember one of them going, "Oh my God, Sam Mallow is just so hot. I wonder if he's single."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, sweet baby child, sweet baby." This is before she transitioned to Ella, and she was dating a man at the time that I actually followed on Instagram, and I was just laughing because I was like, "You clearly don't know this band. You don't know what they're."
Yeah.
They didn't know a single song, and they were rude, and we were just like, "Let's just get in front of them." So we got in front of them, and she was like, "If you guys are getting in front of us, that's rude." And I was like, "Fuck off." And then they left, I think. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah, I've seen them a bunch of times. I actually met Charlie. I know Charlie's not in the band anymore. I met Charlie.
You were just like randomly
in
at a party.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the Huxley Inn after show at the Space Jesus in 2020, right before COVID. But Charlie was there, and it was awesome. And I got to hang out with Charlie for a second.
I love hearing your enthusiasm for RKS.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already wanting to go see him, but now I'm like, man, I got to make a point to go with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's something that I encourage everybody to do. If you got somebody in your crew that is obsessive about a DJ, singer, band, whatever, and they're going, you should go with them to that act, even if it's not like one of your favorites, because I feel like that's one of the coolest things, to be introduced to an act through somebody else's eyes who is obsessive about them. I've done that a handful of times.
So Ella at my work is absolutely obsessed with Chase and Status.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go see them because she just cannot shut the fuck up about them.
I know Ella very well.
So I'm going to go see Chase and Status. And I brought that up to her the other day. And she's like, "Oh my God, I was literally just listening to them on my way here." And then she showed me her phone as proof. I was like, wow. Yep, I'm going to go. And then, oh man.
Anybody else?
Yes, there's so many.
You know, it's funny
Flip
because
Turn. I'm probably going to miss a little bit of Flip Turn because of birthday.
It's funny, when this lineup first came out, a lot of people were saying it's light, but I feel like the closer we get, the deeper it feels with some of these bands that everybody is discovering.
Turnover.
You know, I've gotten into them too. They're kind of like a low-key, not emo, but emotional band.
You know who got me into Turnover?
Who?
Aaron Myers.
Oh my God.
Years and years and years ago. The same with Flip Turn.
That's a story that shan't be shared on the podcast.
No.
Well, Brooklyn, thank you for bringing these beers. Thank you to LeBron for hooking us up.
Thanks again, LeBron. You guys go to Common John. Go say hi to LeBron and the bartenders. They're awesome. All of those people over there, they work so hard, and they are it's just a fantastic brewery.
So I know a lot of people are coming in early on Tuesday or even Monday. If you want a good place to go in Manchester to hang out with other Ruvians, because a lot of people are going to be going over there for the pregame before the gates open, that's where to go. It's kind of on the other side of I-24, kind of close to that rec center where that big painting is. You kind of got to go down like a little back road to get there, right? Look it up on Google Maps or whatever.
Now, remember, it is a smaller brewery, so you might have to wait a minute in a line to get beer. Because LeBron was actually telling me last year about, he was telling me about last year when it got canceled. They were getting absolutely demolished. There was wait lines out the door. Y'all just keep in mind, it's a smaller brewery. They have one bar. You walk up to the bar and order your food and your drinks through that bar. And those, as a bartender, those bartenders are working their asses off. Just be kind to them, radiate that positivity, give them all the good tips and the respect that they deserve, because they are working through Bonnaroo to give you a good experience.
Absolutely, what she said. And one other thing before we get out of here, things have been a little hectic. I think while I'm saying this, we're going to scroll the names of our Patreons. I want to thank everybody for pitching in this past year. We have gotten all of our supplies loaded up
Surprise
in the
supplies.
back of the bus now. All of the stuff for our scholars, all the stuff for our booth, a couple of things that's going to be at the Plaza 5 tent. It's all here. It's all thanks to you guys. We appreciate you guys pitching in on the Patreon. If you haven't, check your email or the Patreon itself for a message from me. There's a little information on there for a little something that we've got for you guys if you're able to take advantage of that. So take a look at that. Again, you can find that at patreon.com/Shrewbus and learn more about Totem at totemfnd.org. And we're going to have a couple of things on site as we've been talking about. So there will be some segments on Bonnaroo Radio. We're going to have the live podcast on Friday. Do you want to come to that? You might have a show at that time. Don't worry about it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a graphic on the Rubus socials that shows all of the days and times for everything that we've got going on. You can tell we're getting close to Rue because I'm getting to the point where I'm thanking everybody for so many things. I want to thank everybody on the Totem team that has made so much happen. We have like 24 people, give or take, that have been working hard this past year, especially the past couple of months, to make all these things happen. One person in particular I want to shout out is Jax, who has really been killing it with so many things for Totem. We love you, Jax. You're a superstar. Everybody, make sure to come to the Totem booth. There's going to be a lot of volunteers working there. Some of them you'll know. Come see them, see what they got up to. They just drink it stout. See what they're up to.
4%.
I've been trying to. I've
It
not been drinking much because I'm readying my palate for Bonnaroo.
is 4.5%, the same amount as a Coors Light.
Well, I like it. But again, yeah, go see the booth. We're going to have a lot of volunteers, see what they're up to. They've got some crafts for you. We got a lot of fun stuff going on. But you know what? Just personal note from me, I'm telling you this too. I'm personally taking it a little slower this Bonnaroo. We have a great team that's doing so much. I personally am doing less. I am making it a priority to spend quality time with people this Bonnaroo and not be running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yes.
So I want to hang out with you. If you see me, if I'm not making my way to a show that I'm dying to see, I want to see you.
To a show.
All right, anyways. But yeah, you get the idea. All right. Thank you again, Brooklyn. Cheers. Happy Roo.
Cheers. I have one more shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to the band Rufus Du Sol.
Oh, yeah. They listen to this show?
You guys come try to get a beer and come say hi to me because I love you.
They do have good beer in Australia.
They're not going to listen to this.
You never know. You never know.
And it's not Forrester. Old Forrester.
Old Forrester. All right.
I actually got gifted an Old Forrester at the Beer Exchange one.
Do you remember who?
No. I see like 1 million people every year.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right. Next week will be the last episode before we all leave for the farm. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I may get a panel together just to talk to all of our friends with no agenda before we start to head out. Actually, yes, I have decided right now that's the plan.
Okay.
So many of you that are on the Discord, I'll be getting in touch with you so we can put that together next week.
I wasn't paying attention.
For the second to last time before we head to the farm, get out there and radiate positivity. We will see you in just over a week. My bad. Realize that.